My name is Courtney and my pronouns are she, her.
You look beautiful, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Putting a little effort today.
Yeah, as did I, as you can tell. What are your name and pronouns?
My name is Rhys and I use he, him pronouns.
How are you, genuinely?
I'm doing good. Today's a bit weird because it is such a nice day outside and we can't really do much.
Okay, quite busy, but I'm okay.
You like school?
Yeah, I would say that I do. Maybe maybe not in the traditional sense, but certainly at least in my school, it provides enough opportunities where things can stay interesting, things like theater and music. And that's been like a really big part of my life for the past 6 or so years.
Do I like school?
Yeah.
Yes. I like learning. I really like learning. School, however, there are likes and dislikes, but overall, I'd probably say yes.
Awesome. What do you think your best subject is?
Definitely any humanities, so probably health or English.
I was pretty good at music, but I did that last year. I mean, this year, it would be literature.
The subject that makes me most happy would probably be health, just because it's just so relevant, especially now.
I think theater studies makes me happy. It's a huge creative outlet for me and everybody else in that class. Because yeah, like our teacher's really cool. He just lets us like muck around a lot of the time, but it's like we get a lot done, and theater is just really fun in general.
Do you have friends at school?
Yes,
And do you think that they assist your enjoyment whilst learning at school?
definitely. I feel like it makes a big difference if your friends, especially if your friends enjoy school as well, it impacts on how much you enjoy it too.
Probably the majority of my friends do come from my school, and I mean it's sort of one of those things where like those have been the really important connections this year, especially because it's like the people that obviously I keep in touch with the most often now, and a couple of those other friends who don't go to my school have sort of been sidelined, unfortunately, because like there's literally just been no way apart from like social media that we've been able to see each other at all.
Do you think they assist you in your enjoyment while learning?
Yeah, I think they do. I think never underestimate the power of a good study group or just a group on social media or whatever for every one of your classes, because in the end, they can be like a huge driving force between you and getting whatever work you have done.
How has your school handled remote learning?
I would say I'm pretty lucky in that they were, as soon as kind of it was hinted that we would be going to online, they would like straight on it.
Mm.
So I feel like we were really prepared and the transition was really smooth. I felt like, of course, there was bumps, especially with Zoom and especially the second lockdown because no one was expecting that one as much.
Mm.
But I feel like overall they made it a really smooth and kind of as normal as they could.
Schools handled it really well. Like back in January, we were sort of like one of the first like schools to be sort of COVID aware, really. Like I remember at the very start of the year, there was like a 14-day quarantine period for people who had like just been overseas. Last week of term one, the school was like, yeah, all right, we'll try out online learning because like this might be a possibility. And then sure enough, during that holidays, they were like, yeah, your entirety of term two is going to be online. Um, but no, I think they've handled it reasonably well, and there are bits of online learning that I much prefer to in-school learning, but it's not quite the same experience.
Do you feel that you've been supported by your school during this time?
That's a hard one because I feel like everyone's going through this so differently. Like we're all experiencing the same pandemic. We're all experiencing certain experiences together, but everyone is so different. So sometimes the support comes at different times and you might not need it at that time and need it at other times. It's hard to give support tailored to the certain person's experiences.
Do you feel supported by your school during this time?
Um, yeah, I think I do. In fact, I think I feel more supported because in a lot of ways, what this has revealed for a lot of people is that teachers are actual people with actual lives. Like when you're on a Zoom call with a teacher and like their kids like pop up into frame or like their puppy or whatever, you sort of like you get this realization that like, you know, these teachers are actual people and they're going out of their way to give you like the year 12 that you deserve.
My mental health, it's never really been something that I've experienced, is dealing with it. So I guess I say hard as in it's difficult to learn how to manage these things.
Mentally, how has quarantine been for you?
Um, it's been up and down. I think definitely bits of it have been really, really difficult. Um, I'm quite strange. I feel like when I actually have like lots of work going on, like that's generally when my mental health is the best because like I always have something driving me or like motivating me. It's really during those periods where like not a lot's going on where like the days sort of blur into one another and that kind of gets a bit bad.
In my day-to-day life, like I draw energy from other people, and not having that energy really affected my mental health.
Mm.
But again, it's been ups and downs completely. At some points I'm like having the best time, living my best life, and at other points you just feel like you're at the worst part.
What is something you have done in quarantine that has relieved anxiety?
I play flute, piano, and guitar, and I sing. So that's definitely always something that I've got there, which I can just, you know, use at any time that I want to chill out. Otherwise, I think um, playing online games with friends is great. Like, I'm not a gamer, so to say, but like, I'm really getting into like those sort of online games that you can just like sit down with your friends and like play over a call or whatever, because like it's a good way to connect with people, I think.
When I was at my lowest, I would make so many playlists during this time, and that's the one thing that I would just start playing music, and it would kind of take me out of that gloomy, not so nice place.
Is there a specific person you could rely on to be happy during this time?
Like definitely my friends, like Byron, I know he's been doing the same ups and downs as me. So that's been really, I don't like, as much as it's not a good thing that he's going on these ups and downs, it's comforting to know that it's normal what's happening right now.
Something you're proud of that have accomplished in this time?
Oh, yeah, the school that I go to had a writing competition, I think during term two mostly. And I decided to write a short story for that. And I actually came out with first place. That's been honestly the highlight of my year so far because like in a year where not much has been accomplished, like you know that genuinely felt like I accomplished something because like not only was it productive, but like I got a result out of it, which I really liked. So yeah, that was something I was proud of.
That's good. Congratulations.
I taught my first ever online dance class.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so having it online was definitely not what I was expecting my first class to look like, but I'm definitely proud that I could do that.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations. And then what's something that you regret or that you don't feel that you've done well during this quarantine?
Like, I don't know, with online learning and stuff that I didn't take, or even just going outside every day. Like, I regret not taking that opportunity, like even though only got an hour, but like taking it and like spending that hour outside, you know?
During the early stages of quarantine, I didn't quite realize how important it was to just like get out of the house every single day.
One more, and it's, do you have any advice to any year 12s that are watching for the coming 2 months?
Yeah, chill out, like don't stress. I know everybody hates when people say this, but like literally you are all in the same boat. Like people are burnt out way more than usual, and I don't think that there's any purpose really on being too hard on yourself this year with like your studies and everything.
We've really shown how resilient we are. I've personally learned so much that I couldn't have learned if we didn't go through this experience. I'm not grateful for the coronavirus, but I am grateful for the opportunities and the people I've met during this time.
Yeah, beautiful.